Good morning students. Today I am going to start Organization of Commerce and Management of Standard 11, Chapter number 6, Forms of Business Organization 2. So dear students, let's see the introduction. So in the previous chapter you have learned about the sole proprietorship, partnership and company, which are the three forms of business organization which runs with the motive of earning profit. But it can exploit customers in many ways. For example, by providing cheap quality of goods and charging high price or doing black marketing, etc. So in this way they can exploit consumers. But in this cooperative society it is a form of business organization in which individuals get associated with the upliftment of the economic interest on equal basis. So in this cooperative society, it runs with the motive of earning profit as well as doing the welfare of peoples. So cooperative society is different from all the other forms of business organization due to its special characteristics. It runs with the slogan that no progress without cooperation, and it comes in the business organization with the objectives each for all and all for each. So let's see the characteristics of cooperative society. First is voluntary association. Cooperative society is a voluntary association, so any individuals can join in the business on the basis of its equity. Second is easy formation process. The formation process of the cooperative society is very easy as compared to the other company of the business organization. Minimum 10 members can join together in the cooperative society and get it registered with the Registrar of Cooperative Society with the Cooperative Society Company Act. Then next is equality of members. So in cooperative society there is an equality of every members and get equal opportunity to every members in the cooperative society. And there is no discrimination on the basis of the capital investment. Fourth is separate identity. With registration in the cooperative society, members get the separate legal identity. Entry or exit of any member does not affect its existence. Fifth is democratic management. The cooperative society managed by the representatives which is elected by the member. In company, the voting right is per share, but in the cooperative society, the voting right is per members. So here importance is not given to capital, but the importance is given to the man. So the management of the cooperative society is really democratic as compared to the company. So it is known as training school of democracy. Sixth is main motive of service. The main objective of the cooperative society is to serve the members. Profit is the secondary objective. Cooperative society works to raise the standard of living of the member and to make them self-reliant. For example, the aim of the consumer cooperative society is to provide the goods of a proper quality at the fair price. Then seventh is fair distribution of profit. The objective of the cooperative society is to provide service to the members, and in spite of the service, if there is an excess profit, then it is distributed among the members of the society, and the residual profit is utilized for the welfare of the member of society. Now 8. Low price of share. Any person who is having less income can purchase the share and become the member of the cooperative society, as the price of the share of the cooperative society is less. So sometimes installment facilities also provided to the customers instead of paying the full amount at once. 9. Voting right per member. Each member has a right to give single vote. Here, the member of the cooperative society elected the representatives of the cooperative society on the basis of the principle of one vote, one member. Now 10. Separate institution from politics and religion. Membership of the cooperative society is open for all religion, caste or sect. It is a separate institution from politics and religion because cooperative society cannot exist on the religious and political principles. 11th is unrestricted number of members. There is no any restrictions on the number of members in the cooperative society, so that many members as possible can join the cooperative society for the economic upliftment. Now, the advantages of cooperative society. First is easy formation process. As we have seen that it is in the characteristics of the cooperative society, it is same as in the advantages of cooperative society, that is easy formation process. The formation process of the cooperative society is very easy. There is no lengthy legal procedure required for the formation of the cooperative society. Minimum 10 members can join together and become the part of the cooperative society and get it registered with the registrar of the cooperative society. Then second, perpetual existence. After the registration, the cooperative society gets a separate identity. Death, insolvency or resignation of the partner does not affect the cooperative society. Third, open membership. There is an open membership for all the members. Those who have different caste, religion, sect or whatever the economic condition they have, it is open for all who have common interest. Then limited liability of the member. Here the liability of the members are limited to the share purchased by them. Then fifth is government assistance. Here the finance assistance is provided by the government in the form of loan, subsidy and grant. Then sixth, democratic management. Here in this, each and every member has a right to give single vote per person. Each and every member has a right to participate in the election, to participate in the discussion and to cast vote and to select representatives. Any representative who is selected by the member can work in a democratic manner. Then seventh is less administrative expense. The cooperative society is based on the principles of thrift. Thrift means the quality of money and the other resources used by the society carefully. Here, honorary service of the member is also available in the cooperative society. The management is economical and no advertisement expenses incurred in the cooperative society. Then 8, special class of customer. Here, the members are the customer. So, members are the specific and the goods are sold to them at the fair price. Then strong competitors against trading institution. So sometimes trading institution in lure of profit, they are doing black marketing or cheating. They are exploiting the customers by doing cheating or black marketing. So here cooperative society stand as a strong competitors against trading institution by providing help to the customers and by providing their service at the fair price. So here sometimes cooperative institutions stand as a competitors against the trading institution. As cooperative society work for the upliftment and the economic growth of the customers. So they provide economic justice to the members. Now 10, welfare activities for the society. Here cooperative society conducts the welfare activity for the society by providing help to the customers and by making the dispensaries and the maintenance of the garden and making arrangements like health diagnosis camp, which is free of cost or which is at low cost. Then 11, training school for democracy. Here the cooperative society work in a democratic manner. significance is given to human beings rather than capital. It means importance is given to human beings rather than capital. So it is work in a democratic management. Democracy remains alive as the significance is given to human. So it is called a training school for democracy. 12. Economic upliftment and the growth of the members. Cooperative society work for the economic upliftment and the growth of the members by providing products at a cheap price, or you can say at a low price, and prevents the customers from the middlemen. So dear students, here we completed the advantages which is same like the characteristics of the cooperative society. Now let's see the limitation of the cooperative society. Now limitations of cooperative society. First is limitation of capital. So here it is difficult to raise the large amount of capital in the cooperative society. Here there is a limitation of the capital as the price of the share is low, and the members who belongs to the cooperative society are also from the poor section. So here the limitation of the capital is there, and also there is a voting right per member, so there is also less attraction in the cooperative society. Then lack of efficient management. The representatives of the cooperative society provides honorary service. So there is a lack of efficient management as they don't have specialized knowledge or lack of time. So mismanagement is created due to groupism. So here the representatives are not taking any personal interest. They are working for the society. But due to the lack of efficient management, the problem arises in the cooperative society. Third is political interference. Various political parties directly or indirectly affects to get control over the cooperative society. If the functions are under the control of the political institution, then the freedom is jeopardized. It means the freedom is in danger. So democratic values are also jeopardized. Fourth, non-cooperation among the members. Non-cooperation enters in the cooperative institution when there is a conflict, doubt, and the selfishness of the members. So if the cooperative society, as we all know that cooperative society is work for the economic welfare of the customers. So due to non-cooperation which is entering into the members or which is entering into the cooperative society, they cannot get the benefit of cooperation. So dear students, here we completed the characteristics, advantages and the limitation of the cooperative society. I hope you understand it very well. So keep learning. Thank you so much.